What's up YouTube? For tonight's video we have a full Poke Fusion team. Now, I've actually quite like to get lots of different Pokemon together, fuse them, and come up with some really funny names and things for them. So, the Pokemon we are working with tonight are as follows. We've got Torking, Tauros and Nidoking. We've also got Squirt Queen, stop laughing, Squirtle and Nidoqueen. And the last one we've got is Farter, which is Farfetch and Haunter. Man, this is a solid lineup of Poke Fusions there. Let's get into this battle. I've got an amazing video for you guys tonight, man. I got some so funny stuff. Make sure you stick around for the whole thing. Right, this is a battle on my chat against Jason. So we've got a Vileplume lead facing off against my Farfetch. So this was a Choice Scarf Farfetch set. I've got Retaliate, U-Turn, Brave Bird, and Knockoff. So I'm going to actually outspeed, and I'm going to take my seed out in one shot. So a nice start to the battle there. Vileplume is very, very bulky too. I do take some nasty recoil, but that was really worth it. So now we have Cinccino coming out. Now Cinccino is obviously is a very fast Pokemon. Now since I'm running Adamant Nature, I needed for a little bit of extra damage. Unfortunately, I did get outsped by Sills and things. But in this case, I'm going to outspeed it. And it just lives on like 1 health. And I'm going to be damaged by the recoil. Now it's going to be a special Cinccino, which is going to take me out with a shockwave. Pretty shocking, right? So that's down. Now the good thing about all that Brave Bird damage, it actually was holding a Life Orb, which was enough to take it out. So Farfetch actually took out 2 Pokemon to start this battle off, which is awesome. Now, people, this is where the battle started to get really, really salty. I'm not giving anything away. So swapping in my Tauros in. Now, this Tauros was a special Tauros, right? I've got T-Bolt, Ice Beam, Flamethrower. Now, I thought it'd be a troll and leave Horndrill on there, right? Horndrill misses the Ditto, and then Ditto goes for the Horndrill, and it hits me. I'm like, oh, I knew this was going to happen. Oh man, so Tauros is down. I've got to get rid of the Horndrill Ditto, guys. I've just got to get rid of it. So I thought a good Pokemon to swap in would be Haunter, right? Because obviously it's going to be immune to that Horndrill. Now, I've got on this Haunter set. It's not what you exactly call the most greatest set, but it's pretty fun to use. It's a physical set. I've got Poison Jab, Explosion, Shadow Claw, and Destiny Bond. I've got Max Attack and Max Speed. Obviously, I'm going for the Normalium Z Explosion. So you can go for the Normalium Z Explosion and just go Explosion afterwards for some major damage there. Coming off just such a thumping base attack. So go for a Breakneck Blitz on the Ditto. Now, I've got to get rid of this thing, right? That Horndrill is a big problem. So all I really want to do was give Tauros a hug. It does over half health to it, and I'm pretty happy with that. So the problem is I can't really swap, leave it into another T-Bolt. So I'm going to swap into my Nidoqueen here, which is a ground type. Unfortunately for me, the bloody Tauros set I made had such great coverage, and it's going to go for Ice Beam, predicting my swap in, doing about half the health. So here I'm going to go for the Earth Power. Ditto lands another Horndrill. I can't believe it. And, man, I'm getting swept by my own creation at the moment, so Nidoqueen is down. I've got to get rid of this. I've got to get rid of this Pokemon. It's starting to get quite salty now. So, swapping in Squirt, and this was my Mirror Coat counter set, Blizzard and Hydro Pump. I went for the Mirror Coat because I thought they'd go for T-Bolt, but they went for Horndrill, and it hits! So the Focus Sash is going to kick in. Unfortunately, it didn't work because I thought they'd go for T-Bolt with the accuracy thing. There's no way they can hit 3 in a row. Oh, my Squirtle's down, people. This is not good. Oh, man, I've got little options left. I've got my Haunted left, which I don't think is going to live the Thunderbolt, and I've got my Nidoking, which is my last Pokemon. Now, we'll go through these sets a little bit more. Right, anyway, so going for the Dragon Tail. Horndrill hits 4 times in a row. You're joking. I can't believe it. Hacker exposed Horndrill Ditto. You won't believe the Gen 16 leaks. That is down. The only Pokemon I've got left is the Haunter. I can only really go for the Poison Jab here to try and take it out. I can't go for Shadow Claw. Will Poison Jab be enough to take it out? I don't know, but it's going to go for T-Bolt. Outspeed me, and oh man, that is game. I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe that just happened. Oh, actually, people, let's just forget about that. What's up, YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full Poke Fusion team, and let's get into it. This is a battle against Ian on my chat. I'm so salty at the moment. I can't believe it. 4 in a row. It reminds me of that Ponyta. Right, so we have a Sylvally lead here. It's a Ghostly, which is cool. It's going to go for the multi-attack on my Nidoqueen. Setting up those Stealth Rocks. I actually get to show my team off a little bit better in this battle because I didn't get Shrek like all over the shop by a Horndrill, a Ditto, Tauros. Anyway, so the Iron Head on the Nidoqueen is not going to do too much. On this set, right, we'll go over what it is. It's sort of like a combination of. I'm still salty. I'm still salty. It's a combination between Nidoking and Nidoqueen. We've got Stealth Rocker, Earth Power, Fire Blast, and Thunderbolt. Max Health, Max Special Attack. Now, really, I just wanted to get the Stealth Rock. Nidoking was sort of like the main player on this team, as you'll get to see. So going for the knockoff on the Silvally. Unfortunately, that wasn't enough to take it out. It's obviously got a Z Crystal, and that's going to be enough to take me out with the Rock Slide. No, it's not. 5 health, people. Gotcha. So now I can go for the knockoff again, and that's going to finish off the shiny Silvally Ghost. Actually quite like the all the Silvallies. They're really cool. So that's down. So not a bad start there. However, my Farfetch took some unnecessary damage. I really can't freely go for Brave Bird anymore, so that is a problem. So old Miss Magius comes in, so I was thinking, I'm probably going to get outspeed here. In case it goes for a nasty pot on the swap, I'm going to go for the knockoff, and that's going to take out my Farfetch, which was pretty much down anyway. So now, swapping back in Queen, I've set my Stealth Rocks up. Now I can go for the T-Bolt, the Fire Blast, one of those types of moves, just to get some damage off against this thing. So I knew that I'd go for the Shadow Ball. Now, Nidoqueen is fairly bulky, and it just lives, which is nice, and I'm able to get off my Wiki Berry here, which is going to get over half of my health, which is cool. So now I know that I can live like another 2 Shadow Balls from this thing. If it does have Nasty Plot and Substitute, it's not going to be able to set them up freely. So Thunderbolt doing some nice damage, swapping out the Nidoqueen now and going into Tauros, expecting a Shadow Ball from the Miss Magus. So it's going to use that, so nice prediction there. It's going to take no damage. Now I can freely go for a Thunderbolt. Man, I really wanted to go for a Horn Drill, but this Miss Magus was, I needed to get some solo revenge for the last battle. Right, so it's going to use the Nasty Plot, boosting its special attack 2 stages. Now, the funny thing happens here, right? So I went for the T-Bolt, doesn't take it out. Then it uses Mystical Fire. I'm like, oh no, Mystical Fire drops special attack. So my Thunderbolt may actually not take it out here. But the only reason it actually takes it out here was for Sheer Force. So it's running Sheer Force Tauros. That obviously boosts moves like Thunderbolt with the secondary effects. So that was the only reason that actually took it out. So now, the big problem of their team was the Murkrow. Now, there wasn't a lot I could do. I thought about going for Horn Drill for a second, but I thought, no, I'm going to save that for later on and see if I can do some damage to this thing. So, into Nidoqueen. Now, it's going to go for Dark Pulse. Obviously, it's going to have most of its EVs invested in health or defense, special defense, whatever side. It might be like, usually they run like max health, max defense, or max health, max special defense. Depending on what moveset they got. So going for T-Bolt on Murkrow does pretty good damage, almost taking it out. Now the problem is this thing has Pranks to Roost, and it's going to do that all day, like most of the the usual Murkrow stalling sets. Now I was wondering if it had Toxic on it. Normally it's got Toxic, Thunder Wave, one of those kind of moves. Going for the Thunderbolt again. Since it used Roost, it's not going to be super effective because it actually got rid of its, obviously on that turn it got rid of its flying type, just making it a dark type. So now going into Tauros again, expecting a some sort of ghost type move, and I thought, well, I might be able to go for a Horn Drill to take this out. The only problem with Horn Drill is got a dodgy accuracy. Let's just forget about that first battle. That just never happened, alright, people? So go for the Thunderbolt on the Murkrow here. It does pretty average damage considering it. Then again, it's coming for a Tauros, which has like our special attack. So the Tauros is down, unfortunately, man. I've got to get rid of this Murkrow. It's a problem. I probably could have gone for the Horn Drill there, just risked it, but I needed to. I didn't want to go down the non-scummy route. That did not help with the first battle. So now it's going to keep spamming Roost. I'm going to speed this bit up just a little bit. So the Nidoking, the main player on my team, right? So the idea with this set is, it was max health, max speed. I wanted max speed for a reason. So I've set Stealth Rocks up early, if you do remember that. I've also got Rest Sleep Talk on this set, and I've got Dragon Tail. So the idea is to go for, the really fast Dragon Tails to just phase out the opponent. I've also got Toxic Spikes on this one too. So it's more like a, the Nidoking and Nidoqueen set work really nicely. Obviously, Nidoking was really quite easy to take out. It wasn't exactly bulky, even with max health. Was nothing to write home about. It's just to work better than Nidoqueen, who's just a little bit faster. I was able to get off those Rest Sleep Talks and get off a faster Dragon Tail. It's quite nice using without having the with Dragon Tail, you got to go second, right, due to the negative priority. With the Sleep Talk, that makes you actually go first, so it's actually really good. So now Murkrow's going to keep trying to stall me out here. I really cannot do much against this thing. Like the Pokemon I've got left cannot actually do much. I've got Haunter left, which, yeah, it's questionable how much damage that's going to do. So what I've got to do is get enough, get it onto a low enough amount of health and try and take it out maybe later on. So now we have Houndoom coming in there. It's going to take multiple damage from the Stealth Rock and the Toxic, which is nice. So it's not going to be around for too much longer. If it does have Nasty Pot, it's not going to be able to set it up. Flamethrower. I know that I can take Flamethrower, so, anything like that, I'm fairly bulky in health. So now it's going to go for the Dank Pulse. The only thing about this is if I do get flinch, the only good thing though is if the Toxic is racking up nicely too. So going for yet another Dragon Tail, and that's going to be enough to take out the Houndoom. So most of the time this Nidoking worked quite well, but obviously it's got its big counters, like, the ice types are just like sweeping through my team too. Right, so now we have Pimpnite coming in. I've got to get rid of this thing too. I've got the Toxic on it, which is nice. Now the only thing I can really do is go for the rest here, and then go for those Sleep Talk Dragon Tail. So the idea basically was to put yourself to sleep, and then you really had to rely on Sleep Talk picking out Dragon Tail. And I know what you're thinking, right? I know what you're thinking. How many times did you get rest? Let's see how much that happened. So Pimpnite's going to go for the Attract on my Nidoking. So I was like, oh no, here we go. Here we go. It's also got leftovers too, which is a little bit annoying, so it's going to get some more health back on the Toxic spikes. Okay, so the idea is I thought I might be able to keep this thing around long enough to actually take it out. The only problem was Haunter is going to get wrecked by it. It does have access to Priority Ghost and Dark type moves, so I really couldn't swap much into it. So going for Nidoqueen, just to see what it would do, it's going to go for the knockoff, so that was going to get rid of my Black Sludge. So not much I could do there. I just wanted to see what move it had. Then I'm freely to swap in another Pokemon. So taking some more toxic damage on the Pimpnite. Now I can either swap in Nidoking again and go for that Dragon Tail and try and get rid of this thing, get some more Stealth Rock damage on it. That was really my only option at the moment. Like, Nidoking was like the backbone of my team at the moment. Right, so going for the Sleep Talk, and here I get Rest, which I never saw that one coming at all. So now Pimpnite's going to go for the the knockoff. That does some pretty big damage to me, getting rid of my Black Sludge. However, since I don't have an item now, it's not going to do as much damage. So I wonder if it's got like another more powerful move too. Right, so taking a little bit more damage from the Toxic Spikes. I can't really do much here except for the Sleep Talk, hoping I'll get Dragon Tail to try and get rid of this Pimpnite. So going for Sleep Talk here, and I get Rest again twice in a row. Man, so now it's going to use Attract again. So I was like, oh, this is really annoying. So I swapped out before because I didn't want to get attracted. I was thinking I could go for a Rest here again, swap it out, then swap back into another Pokemon and try this again. What are my options there? The only good thing was the Toxic was really starting to rack up on the Pimpnite, and it didn't seem to be have any forms of recovery. It's more like an offensive set. Then it's going to go for the Phantom Force on my Nidoking. I was like, okay. I wake up and I went for the Dragon Tail here. Now I actually get through the Infatuation. Of course I do. I'm the only type. It doesn't matter. And it's going to get a little bit of leftover recovery. So the next turn, it's gone. So this one, I'm like, I've got to go for Rest here. I've got to get all my health back, and this is going to be good. Unfortunately, I get immobilized there, and now Pimpnite is going to smack me on the behind, and I just live on 11 health. Now, it's going to actually get a little bit of leftover recovery. However, I know that I can outspeed it and go for Rest too if it does tend to live the Toxic, which it didn't, and that is down. So Pimpnite is finally down. Man, Nidoking is like holding my team together at the moment. Right, so now we have the Mr. Annoying coming in, which is the Murkrow. So the only problem is the flying type, right? So I didn't have Toxic on any of my Pokemon, which was annoying too. I was going to do that, but I thought, nah, well, I'll use the Toxic Spikes. So putting my Nidoking back to sleep. I didn't really have much of a plan for this Murkrow. It was a problem, right? I was thinking on the damage that I was doing to it. I was trying to figure out whether it was more like bulky in special defense or like bulky in defense. That was sort of like right on how much damage my Haunter would do. Anyway, I go for the Sleep Talk again. I've got to get some kind of damage up on this thing, and I got Toxic Spikes, which is going to be useless because I've already got 2 layers up, right? Anyway, so it's going to go for the Dark Pulse against me again. I really need to get some sort of Dragon Tail up against this thing and get into that last Pokemon, which is, we haven't seen it yet. I won't spoil it. Anyway, so go for Toxic Spikes. Again, that's twice in a row. Now Murkrow is going to go for the Dark Pulse again, and I just live. So I've got no choice here. I've got to go for Rest again because like the rest of my team is not going to be able to get past this thing. I've got to dent this thing with Dragon Tail and get some more damage to it. At least make it the last Pokemon left, right? So go for Rest again, getting all my health back on the Nidoking. Bulky Nidoking, people, it's overpowered. So Dank Pulse is doing, it's about a 4-hit KO outside of a critical hit, of course. Nightshade obviously is the fixed damage that it's been using too. So I know what sort of set I'm dealing with. I just can't do anything to it at the moment. So I get Toxic Spike 3 times in a row. Oh, come on. So now Dark Pulse is going to hit me yet again. So it's a 4-hit KO. I've got to do something. I've got to get Dragon Tail here. So I'm going for the Sleep Talk, hoping I get Dragon Tail. And here I get Dragon Tail finally, but it misses. Oh, and then the Murkrow is going to hit me with the Dark Pulse. And guys, guess what happens? I got critical hitted. That is not the worst luck ever, except for the first battle. What first battle? This is the first battle. We're just forgetting that one. So swapping in Haunter, man, I'm starting to get peed off here. I'm going to go for a powerful Z move. So Murkrow is going to use Roost again. Of course it is. I totally never saw that one coming. Now all of its health back. I've got to do some damage to it. It's time, people. So I thought, well, it's time to see how much damage this Z move is going to be. Is it more bulky in defense or is it more bulky in special defense? Usually, like, I've seen a lot of them. You have like the Calm, you can have like the Calm Mind Murkrows, like max health, max defense, Everlight. You've got the Perish Trappers. There's they always, but they always work around the same sort of like core with like Roost. So going for my Z move again, and hoping I do some good damage to Murkrow. Now I do a surprising amount of damage to it with the Haunter, which has basically really bad attack. I went for the Poison Jab here, and I was like, yes, Thunder Wave missed my first little bit of luck. And it lived! No! And I don't get the poison! Oh, I know that's going to go for a Scummy Roost this time, so I swap out that and go into Squirtle. Now, I'm hoping with Squirtle, I can get maybe a Freeze Hacks against this thing, or just some damage. Now, the problem here is I couldn't use Mirror Coat right, because it's a Dark-type Pokemon, so I was in a lot of trouble here. So I went for the Hydro Pump here. Now it's going to go for the Thunder Wave against me, which sucks. I wasn't an overly fast Pokemon anyway. Hydro Pump hits. I nearly said something else then. It does very underwhelming damage. So obviously, clearly, this Murkrow is max health, max special defense, or much more invested in special defense than it is in defense. So now it's just going to keep spamming Roost and getting all of its health back, which is just annoying. So going for Blizzard and it misses. I'm like, damn, that really sucked. Not that it would have done a lot anyway. I was sort of more going for the freeze then. Murkrow swaps out. The last Pokemon they've got, apart from the Murkrow, is the Guzzlord. I like Shining Guzzlord. Looks really cool. So I get some extra damage of Stealth Rock, and I've got the toxic damage on Guzzy, which is good. Hydro Pump hits this time, so I'm thinking I can't go for Mirror Coat either against this thing. The only thing I can really do is go for Blizzard or Counter. I was like, are they going to be running a physical set on Guzzlord? I'm not sure. I went for it anyway, so bugger it, let's go for Counter. Then it uses Knockoff, I'm like, yes, I've got him! Got him, people! Focus Sax kicks in, baby. And I get paralyzed. Oh, man, I just can't get a win today. So Squirtle is, it's useless. I just went for Blizzard, and I outsped him. Oh, interesting, I outsped, that's cool. Blizzard fails to take it out, and Guzzlord actually goes for the Dragon Tail, so maybe they were expecting me to swap into the Haunter there, so that was a good thing that I didn't. Squirtle goes down. Now, the toxic damage is just going to be enough to take out the Guzzlord. It does get a Beast Boost. Thank goodness that is enough. So the last Pokemon I've got is the Haunter and the Murkrow, the fated battle, people. Now, by this stage, as you can probably really imagine, I was quite salty and annoying. The stall and everything. I was like, I don't want another 20 turns this. It's time, people. It's time to finish this off. So I was like, I'm going for Explosion right now. Please take this out. So unfortunately, Murkrow doesn't go for a Thunder Wave. It's going to go for a Roost, which I 99.9% thought it would. So it gets all of its health back, basically. So I was praying. It's not bulky in defense. I'm running an amazing physical attacking Haunter. I love this game.